Records show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. All board members are present with the exception of Brian Sebring. Mr. Anderson, will you give the invocation?
Sure. Would you bow with me? Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for allowing us to be here today, Father, and we just ask that you continue to watch over and bless this district, these students, this staff, this community. We're so thankful for those who are here tonight to be recognized for the work that they've put in their respective activity. We're very blessed to have these students. We're very blessed to have the staff to teach our kids and take care of our kids on a daily basis. And we're just thankful for everything that you do. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, we have members of the student council. I believe the student council officers are here tonight. If so, would you please come to the front so you can lead us in the pledges?
Will you please rise? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, first on our agenda, we will canvass the May 3rd Red Oak Independent School District bond election results. And Mr. Knight, I will need you to confirm after I read them. Okay. I, the undersigned, the presiding officer of the canvassing authority for Red Oak Independent School District bond election held on the third day of May, 2025 in Red Oak, Texas, do hereby certify that the following is a total of all votes received by the precinct returns. Okay, for the special election proposition A, we had 1,503 votes for, 980 votes against, for total votes of 2,483. On Proposition B, we had 1,372 votes for, 1,100 votes against, for a total votes cast of 2,472. And on Proposition C, we had 1,372 votes for, 1,102 votes against, for a total vote count of 2,474.
I confirm.
Okay. Next, I will read the official words here. I, Melanie Peterson, presiding officer of the Red Oak Independent School District Board of Trustees of Red Oak, Texas, met with the Board of Trustees sitting as the canvassing board to canvass the special election of May 3rd, 2025 on May 12th, 2025 at Red Oak, Texas. The board convened at 6 p.m. I certify that the figures on the summary sheet corresponds with the numbers provided by the Ellis County Elections Administrator. Witness my hand this 12th day of May, 2025.
I make a motion that the board approve the canvass certificate for the board elections held on May 3rd, 2025, as presented by Melanie Peterson, along with the canvass order.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, that was the motion by Mr. Knight and a second by Mr. Anderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Okay, at this time, we will issue the certificate of election for Donna Knight. So in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, this is to certify that a general election held on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025, Donna Knight was certified as unopposed and duly elected as a Red Oak ISD Board of Trustee. Brian Sebring was unable to attend tonight, so he was sworn in earlier. So at this time, Ms. Knight, if you will go down front to the podium, and Ms. Temple will swear you in.
Okay.
Donna Knight,
I, Donna Knight,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I have not directly
that I have not directly
or indirectly paid,
or indirectly paid,
offered,
offered,
promised to pay,
promised to pay,
contributed,
contributed,
or promised to contribute
or promised to contribute
any money
any money
or thing of value,
with value,
or promised any public office
or promised any public office
or employment
or employment
for the giving
for the giving
or withholding
or withholding
of a vote
of a vote
at the election
at the election
at which I was elected,
of which I was elected,
or
or
as a reward
as a reward
to secure my appointment
to secure my appointment
or confirmation,
or confirmation,
whichever the case may be,
whichever the case may be,
so help me God.
so help me God.
That was just the first part.
Okay.
Okay. I, Donna Knight,
I, Donna Knight,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the duties
execute the duties
of the office
of the office
of Board Trustee
of School Board Trustee
for the Red Oak Independent School District
for the Red Oak Independent School District
of the state of
of
Texas,
the state of Texas,
and I will, to the best of my ability,
and I will, to the best of my ability, preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and
of
laws
the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Okay, congratulations, Ms. Knight and Mr. Sebring. Next on our agenda is the election of officers for the Board of Trustees. And first, we have the office of President. So nominations are open for Board President for the upcoming school year.
I make a motion to nominate Melanie Peterson for president.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Knight and a second by Mr. Anderson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Do we have any other nominations? Seeing none, the motion passes 6-0. Now we will open the nominations for vice president.
I make a motion to nominate Brian Sebring for the position of vice president.
Okay. Do we have a second? Okay, seeing none, the motion fails for lack of a second. Do we have any other nominations for vice president? I nominate Johnny Knight for vice president. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, that was the motion by me, Melanie Peterson, and a second by Donna Knight. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That would be motion passes 6-0. Next, we will open nominations for secretary. I nominate Michelle Porter for secretary. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, that's a motion by Melanie Peterson and a second by Johnny Knight. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Do we have any other nominations for secretary? If not, motion passes 6-0. Congratulations, folks. Okay, next we are going to move into our recognitions portion of the meeting. We have a lot of recognitions tonight, you guys. We would ask that you stay for all the recognitions, because if not, we've got kids up here and we're trying to call out their names and there's commotion everywhere. We will take a break after all the recognitions are done, but if you can, please wait until this portion's over before you leave. So first, we will have Karen Anderson, Executive Director of the Red Oak ISD Education Foundation, and Mr. John Anderson. Oh, there he is.
I am honored to present to you this year's participants in the Red Oak ISD Community Partner Academy. Should be a slide, Scott. See it? Sorry, I was waiting for. Okay, he's working on it, so I'll just keep going. These individuals went through an application process and were selected to participate in a 6-month academy to learn all things Red Oak ISD. They attend 4 hours a month and hear presentations from almost every department in the district and how that department educates or has an impact on the education of our students. When asking presenters what to present or what to prepare, I ask them to tell the participants things that they would not normally know and educate them on how their department functions and the role it plays in educating our students. Some of the departments, and there was a slide, but I'll read off some of them. They hear from the Board of Trustees, Communications, Curriculum and Instruction, HR, Bilingual, and ESL, Instructional Technology, Human Resources, the Foundation, the Volunteer Program, Little Hawks. So many different departments that they hear from through this 6-month period. They learn a lot. They also had the opportunity to tour an elementary campus, the middle school and the high school, as well as our athletic facilities. They actually even got to eat lunch in the press box. This academy takes a commitment on their part. They agree to make all 6 of the meetings that last about 4 hours each month. This past month, we recognized them at the ESC with the graduation where they were awarded their shirts and their certificates. So I'd like to recognize those participants that are here with us tonight, and some of them may be out there. They may not have made their way to the front, but as I call your name, if you'll come forward. Jennifer Birmingham. Melanie Brooks. Elizabeth Inyang. Craig Jennings. I didn't see if Craig came in. Felicia Lewis. Kenesha Mitchell. Danny McElroy. Yay Ingham. Brooke Shepard. I think that was our last one that was here. I didn't see Charlene or Melissa Williams. Okay, Charlene Stovall and Melissa Williams also participated. We had 11 participants that actually finished the academy and fulfilled their commitment. So let's give them a round of applause.
Next, we have Miss Jennifer Riddle, our elementary math and science coordinator.
Good evening, Board and Superintendent Sanford. I'm excited to announce Red Oak ISD's nominees for National Math Stars program. If you all would come forward, please, at this time, if you are a part of the National Math Stars program. Y'all a chance to come on forward. I know a few of you came in a little bit late. Come on forward, please. This program, introduced in 2023, identifies top math performers and provides them with resources to advance their mathematical skills. To be eligible for the program, students must meet the following criteria. Students must live in Texas. Students must be in second or third grade at the time of application, and I will announce their names so you can find who they are. Students must demonstrate extraordinary mathematical ability, qualifying as part of the top 2% of their district through test scores. For the 2025 cohort, Red Oak ISD partnered with National Math Stars to identify eligible students who met these criteria. Tonight, we will recognize them with a certificate for their achievement as a nominee for the program. The 12 nominated students from Red Oak ISD are invited to continue through the application process, which includes further exams and interviews this summer. The final cohort of National Math Stars 2025 will be announced in August. The final National Math Stars cohort will be granted $100,000 in scholarships over a 10-year period to assist with advanced math courses, enrichment opportunities, STEM camps, and mentorship. The following are our 2025 National Math Star nominees present tonight. And if they're, I don't know if they're all here, but I know we have from East Ridge Elementary, third grader, Julian Campos. From East Ridge Elementary, second grader, Raylan Easley. From Red Oak Elementary, third grader Obi Abigbo. Don't know if he's here, but from Red Oak Elementary, third grader Matthew Fryer. Okay. From Red Oak Elementary, second grader Evan Hernandez. From Wooden Elementary, second grader Harper Johnson. From Eastridge Elementary, second grader Seth Lee. From Shields Elementary, third grader Omari Morelos. From Wooden Elementary, third grader Isaac Prado. From Wooden Elementary, third grader Easton Scott. From Eastridge Elementary, second grader Egypt Silas. And from Red Oak Elementary, third grader Seth Sweet. So congratulations to these students, their families, and to their teachers who work closely with them each day.
Parents, if you want to take a picture, you can run down, get closer. We good? Okay. And thank. Okay. Okay, next we have Mr. Chris Anderson, and he will be presenting the boys' high school basketball team with the help of Mr. Sean Kelly.
Well, good evening. My name is Chris Anderson. I'm the athletic director here at Red Oak High School. And I'm proud tonight to have with us our fall, our winter and spring teams that made the playoffs, in many cases advanced to regional competition, in many cases competed at state. As you know, we have tremendous amount of athletic success with our students, but more importantly, year in, year out, these students make us proud in how they compete and honor our school and our community. That being said, our first group up tonight is Chris Davis with boys basketball.
First off, appreciate everyone having us out here. These young gentlemen, student athletes, they did great on the court and off the court. All of these kids that's up here, they're A and B students, so I applaud that for them, just how much we put on them as far as with the athletic part, and for them to be able to keep their grades up intact. It says a lot about them. So I want to give them a hand clap for that. This year we had a great season. Of course, we would have liked to go further, but I mean, we had a great year. We were 27-9, I believe, overall. We have 8 or 9 players coming back from last year, so we look to try to do even more this year. Continue to be a positive influence in the community and continue just to give back to kids. These kids been up here all day today. I had 4 of them that went to Wooden Elementary today for the young men of Wooden. So they went up there at 3:30 today and they gave some time with the kids. And so I've been asking for a lot from them today, but I appreciate them coming. So we just gonna introduce them real quick and we're gonna have y'all walk across. KJ Bradford, he's a junior. Trey Hodges, another junior that we have. Jamil Houston, junior. Devin Kirk, another junior. Gary Lockett, another junior. And Jackson Thomas, he's our young baby, a sophomore. All of these players up here are all district, all state, all region type kids. So we were missing a couple sophomores that weren't able to make it today, but I just want to thank everybody for having us here and look forward to doing even bigger and better things at Red Oak. So thanks again for having us. Yeah, let me go.
He should have stayed up there.
Thank you, Coach. No, yeah, you go. All right, our next group, we got Coach Kyle Spurgeon and Red Oak Baseball.
All right. Well, this is fortunately our second time doing this. Last year, a lot of these guys you see before you, we were able to make playoffs for the first time in 11 years. Really special to us. Took a lot, like literally every inning, to get there this year. There's a little bit of a tougher road in front of us, but man, these guys have been special. This is all my seniors. I actually have two that couldn't make it, but obviously a very talented group. Done something that hasn't been done here in I don't know how long to go back-to-back years. But even more incredible than their ability on the field is just the young men they are. I've had a lot of coaches, even teachers, ask who you're graduating. Like, how many are you graduating? You got a lot of returners. And the main thing I talk about with losing this group is just the ability to be teammates and the kids that they are. That's going to be a huge loss for our program. Fortunately enough, they've invested into the younger guys, so hopefully some of those habits carry through. But as a coach, about as good of kids as you can ask for. So I'll go over them individually, and then I'm going to touch a little bit more at the tail end before they take a picture. So first up, Miguel Calderon. Next up, Jonathan Mosley. Caleb Rodriguez. Ezra Salceda. And then Caleb Staggs. The two that could not make it was Joaquin Hontas and Josh Keaton. I can't talk about what they've won or achieved just yet, but we do have, out of this group here, we have 2 first-teamers, 1 second-teamer, and 1 honorable mention just in this group here. But one thing I can share with you, and this goes to the core of what they are, we had 3 that is going to make academic all-district, and that means you have to have a 90 or above this entire year, and that's Jonathan Mosley, if you'll step forward, Caleb Staggs, Ezra Salceda. Even more incredible than that, and that's a tough feat, academic all-state, and I submitted these guys, and they should qualify, but I'm going to go ahead and announce them. We had 2 of those, and that's Caleb Staggs and Ezra Salceda. They had to have a 93 their entire high school career or above. And so that's really special to us and really honored to have those guys. Thank y'all.
All right, next group, we got Coach Oscar Lewis and Red Oak Boys Soccer.
I'm short, so yeah. I'm a shorter guy, yeah. Thanks. All right, good afternoon. First, thank you for the community support that I feel yearly here. It's one of the things I love about this area is that I just feel so much support and throughout the year. So super special and lucky to work here. So I'm just thankful for that. I want to introduce these guys. First we have is Ernesto Arceo. Ernesto was voted Defender of the Year. He was also an all-region player. He's committed to go to Hill College. He was a major player for this year, and I'm just thankful for the way he finished his high school career. The next guy I want to introduce is Paul. I suck at your last name. How do you say your last name? Almendarez. Yep. So Paul has been our manager the last 3 years, and I wanted him to come tonight because he's played a major role in our program. He's always made sure that we've had the support needed for players to be successful. I could talk about Paul for hours, but the work he's put in to make this program to what it is, it's been really special. Next, we have Lewis Hoffey. Lewis Hoffey was first team all-district this year as a sophomore, super special player. I can't imagine what he's going to do these next couple of years. Next, we have Isaac Martinez. Isaac was first team all district. He's our PK taker. Has this confidence about him that it shows throughout the game, and I'm excited that he has one more year with us. Next, we have Gil Medell. Gil is our goalkeeper. He's the back-to-back goalkeeper of the district the last 2 years. We had a playoff game our first round, and I'd never seen a keeper just like take over a game like he did, and it was just a phenomenal moment and just another reason why Gil had such a great high school career. Lastly, we have Danny Nunez. Daniel was a junior. He was voted second team all district this year. Hard worker, just very passionate about the game. Overall, we finished second in the district, and before the season, we had predictions, and they didn't predict us to make the top 4. And the fact that we finished second and also won a playoff game this year was just a very positive thing. And I'm looking forward to the future, but also super thankful to the seniors that put in the work to get us to where we are today.
Trade now? Come on. Yeah, go ahead. All right, our next group tonight, we have Coach Adam Prachel in Red Oak Girls Soccer.
Thank everybody for having us out. A little bit about these girls. They all year they worked hard, and they had a goal to of course win state, and that's everybody's goal, and we didn't get that, but this group went the furthest. I've been here for a long time. They went the furthest that I've ever been in the playoffs. I mean, it's due to all their hard work and their dedication and their time that they put in. A lot of these girls, they have to juggle club sports, high school sports, other things that they're involved in, and it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, and their hard work is what got us to this point. We were regional finalists this year. We went 4 rounds deep. We ended up losing to Midlow. One of the big highlights this year was beating Highland Park in the 3rd round. They were ranked number 1 in state at the time, and we upset them to make it to the regional finals with a late goal, and it was a pretty exciting game. Probably one game I'll never forget. But a couple of highlights: this team was 18-4-1 overall, 11-2-1 in district, 83 goals on the year. 15 goals given up, and that says a lot to our attack, and it says a lot to our defense and our goalie that we had. We had 3 superlatives in district. Aja Nelson, she won MVP of our district. Kara Connor, who's not here tonight, but she won defensive MVP of our district. Carson Danielle, defensive newcomer in our district. We had 2 first-team all-region players, Tatiana Beeman and Carson Danielle. 2 all-state members. They were members of the all-state team. Aja Nelson, second-team all-state forward. And Kara Connor, honorable mention all-state defenders. That's a big-time award for them. We had 4 seniors signed to go play college ball at the next level. And 3 seniors that received the Tasco Academic All-State Award, meaning that they have to have 90 or above all 4 years in high school. Aja Nelson, Kennedy Robertson, and Kara Connor all received that. So just to introduce them individually, London Artis. London was our goalkeeper. She is a junior. We'll have her coming back. Aja Nelson, she's a senior. She's going to play college ball at Louisiana, Southeastern Louisiana. Morgan Maines, she's a junior. She'll be coming back. Ashton Page, she's actually a freshman. She was also on the state track team. Aline Ramirez, freshman. Esme Rodriguez, junior. Caitlin Chandler. And Isabel Cordero.
Thank you. All right, almost there. We have two more groups. Our next group tonight is Coach Jacob Pearson in powerlifting.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? We're excited to be here. I'm very excited to talk about this young man. He is a senior for me. Powerlifting is a team sport, but there's a lot of individual work that goes into it. We've been rebuilding this program on the boys and the girls side. I can honestly say where the program is now, having athletes go to state the last 3 years, I couldn't have done it without this young man. His willingness to help others, whether that's rapping guys, coaching them up, because we got so many different platforms going on. This kid, he's just a pillar in our program, and he really helped build the foundation over the last 3 years. With that being said, Peyton is actually, if you look at him, he's 165 pounds, okay? And he maxed out this year with a 500-pound squat. Then he had a 340 bench press, and then he also had a 500-pound deadlift. So, yes. Peyton, with that being said, to get those kind of numbers, it takes years of work and years of dedication. He grinded. He put the time in over the years. I'm just really thankful to have him a part of our program and all the success that he's had. Had a trip to state this year, fell a little short, but I know he's going to do great things in the future. So if you guys can give me a hand, Peyton Fields.
All right, our last group tonight is Red Oak Track and Field, and we have Coach Johnny Johnson, who needs no introduction. Come on up.
Hello, my name's Coach Johnny Johnson, and I'm the head track and field coach here in Red Oak. And we have been blessed to have had quite a bit of success when you look at attending and competing at the state meet the last few years. This year was a little different, as this year our Lady Hawks really took over and performed on a very high level throughout the course of the 2025 track season. So I have some accomplishments here. I'm going to read through them as fast as I can because there's quite a few of them. I will say that I'm very proud of these ladies. I know it's cliche to talk about how hard they work and things like that, but it's a testament to their success. They worked hard every day. We have pretty tough workouts. They endured those workouts throughout the course from December all the way through May. And so every day we challenge them. We challenge them a lot. The biggest deal I got 2 seniors in this group that will be leaving us this year. They've been varsity track runners since their freshman year. So I really appreciate those 2. When we got to state this year, State was on a Friday, prom was on a Saturday, everything's good. One problem. There were storms all around Austin. Lightning, all of that good stuff. Prom is Saturday. So I was very confident that we were going to get the track meet in. That did not happen. They moved the track meet to Saturday, and we did not get one drop of rain. So it was asking a lot of our seniors who had sacrificed their freshman, sophomore, junior year, and their senior year leading up to that point, did everything we asked them to do. And then I had to make the phone call to parents and to those seniors about competing at the state meet on a Saturday, the same day as prom. And, you know, if anybody knows anything about prom, there's at the very least a lot of money involved with that prom. But they sacrificed, they stayed, they competed, and if you look around their neck, it worked. So before I introduce them individually, I'll just tell the results at the state meet, and you'll see how proud we are of these athletes. First of all, thank the school board. School board showed up in big numbers at the state track meet, and that means a lot to the program to see how much they support us as well. But in the shot put, we have a sophomore, Brianna Davis, in 4th place at the state meet. Brianna Davis also finished the season ranked number 3 in the state of Texas in shot put. She finished the season ranked number 10 in the nation in shot put. And she finished the season ranked as the number 2 sophomore female in the nation in shot put. In the 100 meter, Zaria Bernard. Zaria Bernard is a freshman who finished number 1 in the state in the 100 meter. And that put her at number 10 in the state among all females. That put her at number 1 as a freshman female in the nation. Jada Edwards, who's a senior for us this year. Jada Edwards competed in our 4x1 and our 4x200 meter relay, and she graduates Red Oak High School as being the most decorated female athlete in the history of Red Oak with 6 school records. Morgan Morris, another senior. Morgan Morris graduates as the current school record holder in the 400 meter, and she graduates also holding 4 school records. Brianna Simeon. She is also a freshman for us. Brianna broke the school record in the triple jump this year, and she made it all the way to the regional finals in that event as well. She was also a part of our 4x100 and 4x200 meter relay. Our 4x100 meter relay ended the season as the number 1 relay in 5A in the state of Texas. Our 4x200 meter relay ended up at number 13 in the nation, number 7 in the state among all divisions, and number 1 in 5A. And so we are very proud of these ladies. I'm going to miss our seniors, obviously, quite a bit. I've been knowing them since 7th grade. And so for them to graduate on us, and they're going on, I know Jada Edwards is going to Baylor University for track and field. I am not sure yet where Morgan is going, but Morgan also has a 3.89 GPA. So she has a choice to pursue her college career academically, and she also has options in track and field. I don't know when she's going to make her decision, but when she does, I hope I'm one of the first ones to know. So these are Red Oak Hawks, Lady Hawks for 2025. Thank you.
I don't know what that's from.
Next, we have Jason Nitch, our Director of Fine Arts.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to serve Red Oak ISD as your Director of Fine Arts, and I am very excited to be here tonight with you to help recognize the many accomplishments of our really wonderful and talented students. We're going to start off with our students from our Red Oak High School Choir program, and here to introduce them is our Red Oak High School Choir Director, Ms. Cassie Arrington.
Hello, good evening. The students that I'm going to introduce to you today are qualified for state solo and ensemble competition, which means that they performed a solo at a regional competition of the highest difficulty level available and received the highest rating available. So very proud of them. They are Nicole Akpati, Derek Chapman, Ava Garcia, Anaya Parker, Carrington Price, Natalia Santana, Brisa Stover, Lana Upchurch, Ebony Zachary, Caitlin Stamford, who also is a recipient of the Waxahachie Symphony Association Young Artist Award, which is awesome. She earned that. That is an award that's open to any vocalist in Ellis County, high school musician. We have a few others that could not be here tonight. Michael Camacho, Zoe Harvey Dotson, Reagan Northcote, and Roberto Rivera. Congratulations.
Next up, we will recognize our students from the Red Oak High School Band. Here to introduce them is our Red Oak High School Director of Bands, Mr. Justin Wood.
Thank you. All right, guys, thank you for having us out today. We really appreciate it. Anytime we get a chance to recognize these wonderful kids, it's great. And it was great to see everyone else getting recognized too. I'm going to explain a few things so you just know what it is we're saying. So we have solo and ensemble, and if they get a first division and they memorize the solo and the judge thinks, okay, this is really good, we get to go to state. They send the kid to state. So even getting a 1, sometimes you don't get to go to state on still an ensemble. So we have it, that's called UIL solo qualifier for the state still an ensemble. Same thing for the ensemble. If they can qualify in an ensemble. We have some Team EA all-state band auditions where our 2 kids who made that actually ended up being in the orchestra, which is confusing, but just it's okay. And then we also have some people in here who won outstanding soloist at the Meyerson when we played at the Dallas Wind Band Festival. So those are the 4 or 5 things that we're kind of announcing in here, just in a nutshell. So when you hear me announce their name and you hear the laundry list of things that they've done, I just want you to know what they were. So anyway, very proud of these young men and women. All right, we have Juan Balestros, who qualified for UIL State Solo and Ensemble in the ensemble. He's not with us today. He's at home probably studying, I'm sure. Then we have Logan Belshner, Team EA All-State Band. He made the orchestra 6A this year, so that's very impressive. That was his 3rd time to make it, by the way, which is crazy. Then we have Abigail Bergman, who is a solo qualifier for state, an ensemble qualifier for state, and also made the TMEA All-State Orchestra 5A. Then we have Mason Cheek, who is a UIL solo qualifier for state and ensemble qualifier for state. Then we have Carly Childress, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Noah Childress, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Then we have Presley Coleman, who is a UIL state solo qualifier. We have Gabe Corpany, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. We have Samaj Cox, who is a UIL state solo qualifier and ensemble qualifier. We have Skylar Curley Weathers, who is a UIL state solo qualifier. We have Ava Dalfrey, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Then there's Colton Dunn, who is a UIL state solo qualifier. And then we have Lana Fisher, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Joseph Galindez, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Bella Gray, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Monica Guzman, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Then we have Jerry Horton, who is a UIL state solo and ensemble qualifier. Maurice Horton, who is a UIL solo and ensemble state qualifier. We have Harrison Jones, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. We have Jacob Kelso, who is a UIL state solo qualifier. Mikkel Kincaid, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Isabella Lee, who is a UIL state solo qualifier. Alan Leal, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Andrea Leal, who is a UIL state solo or state ensemble qualifier. Zachary McCoy, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. We have Peyton and Wyatt Newsom, who are UIL state solo qualifiers. We have Ainsley Nitch, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Jonathan Nubaze, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Austin Oliver, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. AJ Pandy, who is a UIL solo and ensemble state qualifier. Caden Roberts, who is a UIL state solo qualifier and won outstanding soloist at the Meyerson Wind Band Festival. Cruz Romero, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Vivian Ripple, who is also an ensemble qualifier for state UIL. Marco Sabordo, who is a UIL state solo qualifier. Lelia Sanchez, who is a UIL state ensemble qualifier. Carlos Stewart, who is a UIL state solo qualifier and ensemble qualifier. Jonathan Stewart, UIL state solo qualifier. Martin Tate, UIL State Solo Qualifier and Ensemble Qualifier. Then we have Gabriela Torres, UIL State Solo and Ensemble Qualifier. Saxton Tyler, UIL State Ensemble Qualifier. Morgan Warren, UIL State Solo or Ensemble Qualifier. We have Avery Wood, UIL Ensemble Qualifier and Outstanding Soloist of the Meyerson Wind Band Festival. We have Andrew Zarnt, UIL State Ensemble Qualifier. And I do want to clarify, one of the things is these solos they do with a little bit of help from the directors. We do help them with that. But their ensembles, they do all on their own on our school. So that's a really big deal. And we pushed that pretty big this year. So another round of applause for these wonderful musicians.
Next up, we will recognize our Red Oak High School dance students. And so help me welcome our dance director, Miss Ashley Pope.
Sorry, I'm short. Hello, everyone. Tonight we are going to be recognizing the Hawkette dance officers. Our team is very busy, but they are busier because I ask a lot more of them. For example, during our contest season, not only do they compete in our 3 team routines, but they also compete 3 separate routines. And that is what we are recognizing them for today. At one of our competitions, they were awarded best in class, meaning they were the top scoring in their officer division. So we have Jade Edwards, Brooklyn Johnson, Charlie Luna, and we had 2 that were unable to make it tonight, Coco Monsivais and Olivia DeVidio.
Great. Next up are our high school Hawk Theater students. And I just want to point out something you already know if you're a parent of a fine arts student. They're some of the busiest people in the world. Our theater students are literally down the hallway rehearsing because their last performance is tomorrow night. And so they literally took a break to come here and receive their recognition. So we appreciate all of their hard work throughout the year, for sure. Here to introduce our talented theater students is our Red Oak Hawk Theater director, Mr. Jericho Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Nitch. What happened? Yeah, I do. It's on my phone. I'm digital. Well, Red Oak Hawk Theater had a wonderful 24-25 season. If you don't know, we produce 6 fully produced shows. Each of our production classes, JV, varsity, and musical, does a fall and a spring show. We had a wonderful turnout for Sound of Music and brought in our elementary students, and we're just busy and pleased as punch that we're here to award our varsity one-act play district champions tonight. So I've got some individual awards really quickly. This is our all-star cast member. Actually, I'm going to go first. This is our district best performer, and then honorable mention at by district, Derek Chapman. Next up, we had an all-star cast member at by district, and then honorable mention all-star cast at district, Miss Monique Jacquite. One of your top 25 right there. Next up, I want to, who's next in line? Our wonderful sound designer and all-star technician at by district contest is Mr. Deshaun Gayton. All-star cast member at by district 1516, Miss Jasmine Morgan. Next up is all-star cast at district contest, Mr. Landon Stover. Without his tree branches and monster claws, so he's a little less scary today. And then another all-star technician, this was at the district contest, Mr. Aiden Todd. Two other notes before we recognize the entire company. Miss Tony Raynell Ivory could not be here tonight. She is a 2025 Texas Thespian Scholar, so let's give it up for her. And then I also want to shout out Caitlin Stanford. We at Fine Arts share a lot of students, and so we were really blessed that Caitlin Stanford was elected as one of the 7 Triumphant Hawk Award winners. So let's give it up for Katie. Yeah. All right, and then rush the stage so we can get back to tech rehearsal. We'll see you at Scenes and Songs tomorrow night in the Black Box at 7 o'clock. This is your district champions varsity OAP company. Come on, guys. And last but certainly not least, the best of us, our technical director, Mr. Jeffrey Franks.
Okay, as promised, we will take a short break for those of you that would like to leave. For those of you that would like to stay for the rest of the meeting, we're just going to take a couple of minute break.
Easy on the carpet. It's hard to move on the.
All right,
Slightly awesome. No. It's not going to look good on TV, right? All right. There we go. Good enough. Perfect.
I thought you did. What? Oh, well. That's okay. We will open the meeting back up with the superintendent's report by Miss Brenda Sanford.
We're going to start with Angela Thomas, our sponsor for the Red Oak High School Student Council. They're going to do their Student Council annual report.
Yes, I have with me 3 of my awesome officers. You probably recognize at least 2 of them because they've been officers, president and vice president for 2 years, Lauren Smith and Roshni Murti. And they're going on to Texas A&M and UT Arlington. I have to brag on Lauren a little bit more because she served as our District 3 president for the entire Dallas-Fort Worth area. Representing about 150 schools in the area. And then Kayla Freeman is our incoming president. She's a junior, and she'll be serving as our president for the next year. All right, ladies.
All right. Student council is the link between the student body, the administrators, the school board, and the community. Over the past school year, Red Oak High School Student Council has worked incredibly hard planning and executing projects to build our campus culture and bring unity to ROHS. In the slideshow, you will find some of our biggest projects from the year, leadership training events, and awards, as well as achievements that have recognized our council as a whole. All right, 24-25 school year in numbers. As of right now, we have about 171 members. We've collected about $39,588.50 worth of donated goods, and we've logged about 4,017 service hours. The majority of our goods donated come from blood donations, but it also comes from things like canned goods and school supplies. Awards. So first up, we have the National Gold Council of Excellence Award. Only 2.3% of councils in Texas get this national award. To be recognized as the TASC Sweepstakes Award, we have completed an outstanding number of drug, alcohol, safety, and health projects, pride and patriotism projects, energy and environment projects, and community service projects. Ms. Thomas was awarded and selected as the District 3 Advisor of the Year for the DFW area, and she was awarded the TASC State Advisor of the Year Award. There are over 1,400 member schools in the Texas, and Ms. Thomas was selected as the #1 advisor of all of them. We also had 5 of our seniors earn the Lone Star Leadership Award, and those seniors were recognized at the annual state conference. Summer. Over the summer, we attended the state steering retreat. Me and Ms. Thomas attended this event with others, advisors and students from around Texas to plan the TASC state project. We attended the District 3 officer retreat, and our council and some of our members and officers attended the summer leadership workshop at Trinity University. Now moving on to the first semester. In August, our school starts early with multiple projects before the first day of school. At freshman camp, we welcomed over 500 freshmen to ROHS, and with Hugo Stuco, we had a mini workshop to teach all of the members, both old and new, the ins and outs of Stuco. And we also had Teacher Move-In Day hosted with a waffle breakfast.
In September and October are our busiest months in student council by far. We hosted pep rallies such as our senior pep rally, our Hawks Care pep rally to honor cancer survivors, and our homecoming pep rally as well. We also had senior sunrise, our football gift exchanges, and a Feed My Starving Children meal pack event. In October, we attended the District 3 Fall Conference at Capel High School. We also had homecoming in October. Our theme was There's No Place Like Homecoming, which is inspired by The Wizard of Oz. We also had Moms with Friends, hall decorating, dress-up day, parade, coronation, pep rally, and our school dance. It was so much fun. In November, we recognized over 30 veterans at our Veterans Day breakfast. We also had our first fall blood drive, which is our first blood drive of the year, and we also did our Special Olympics event. In December, we did one of our favorite projects, which is hosting a booth at the Christmas in Red Oak Festival. We also did Toys for Tots and also attended our District 3 overnighter at Mount Lebanon. Second semester. In January, we attended the Advanced Leadership Workshop at Lakeview and also had our Hi, How Are You Day. And then we had our Hearts for Hogs project in February, which is where we write down the name of all of our students and staff members and hang it on the walls of our schools so that they can find it and exchange it for a piece of candy.
In March, we attended the District 3 Spring Conference at McKinney High School, where we passed our torch as the TSC District 3 President's School. And we also held our blood drive, which the difference between this one and our previous one is that it's held in the cafeteria. And also in March, we held our charge workshop. So we go to all of these different leadership workshops, and now we got to share with different campus leaders at our school, as well as we invited Ferris Student Council to come. This was super fun, lots of moving parts, but I know as the end of result was very rewarding. We also had a very special guest, our own President Howe, present, and as well as different guest speakers. State conference. As you know, Ms. Thomas won our State Advisor of the Year, and we also learned many different projects to bring to our council. April, May, we had our kite day. Today was our third blood drive where we collected 77 units of blood, which is 300 units all this school year. We had our officer transition and teachers appreciation where we brought snow cones for all our teachers. And this Saturday, we have our senior sunset. Student Cares. Student Cares is a year-long project where we celebrate all of our school's accomplishments. As you know, we have so many, we have UIO, area, state, and we just give little gift baskets to show our appreciation. And more. Obviously, if we had every single project that we did, we would go on for hours. So there's some of our other ones that we do. And yeah, we're open to many ideas. Our goals for the 2025-26 school year is to increase in school pride and student participation, develop new projects and ideas for the years to come, and increase community service participation outside of RHS. Lastly, we just want to say thank you for your continued support of our council and all of the ROISD students and staff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. Thomas. That's a great accomplishment.
It is.
Okay, and next we have Dr. Johnston going to give us our budget update.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me, and thank y'all. And this should not take as long as many people are anticipating. That's all I can say. Talking about, going to go over the budget calendar briefly, budget development, legislative changes, which is what still we're waiting on, what those are going to be. Discuss the property values and talk about the next steps. Again, the board saw the calendar in January, so don't need to go through every single step of it. But it's an ongoing process. It's very fluctuating and is developed based on the district goals, so it's following the desires of the district, and it must be adopted by June 30th, which every 2 years could be a problem based on the legislative sessions. Again, the ones with the check marks are things we've already done. We've communicated the budget process to stakeholders. We began developing the compensation plans, or we talked about that for next year. It hadn't been finalized yet because it's still waiting for the legislative session to give us what they want us to do. We met with budget managers in the month of February to talk about the budget process for the current year and next year and to answer any questions they may have. Again, we started developing the preliminary budget process, but again, unfortunately, this year, we don't have a lot of the details yet, so it was more guesstimates of what we were wanting to do. Talked about staffing needs because this enrollment is continuing to grow, so we talked about staffing for both Shaw Middle School as well as regular based on the student enrollment in the other parts of the school district. And then we provided the proposed budget, talked about that in cabinet, and tried to, again, we're still waiting for this, we can't do the salary and benefit cost yet because we don't know what the legislature's doing. And we got last week or 2 weeks ago, the preliminary property values. And again, but we don't really know what those are going to finalize, what the final ones are going to be until the end of July. So we're doing some sort of projections on that as well. Again, talked about the current budget situation, which is a very basic budget so far. Again, tonight, we're going to present the preliminary budget picture to the board. Again, we have to publish the notice of the budget hearing at least 10 days before the meeting. And the meeting is the 16th of June. So around the first week of June, we have to submit that, which is only a couple weeks away. So again, and we still don't know a lot of the components that the state is going to provide us. So that's why we're doing a preliminary budget, very basic budget at this point. Again, on June 16th, hold the public hearing to discuss the budget, proposed tax rate, then have the board adopt the budget the same night. Then we won't come back until the tax rate, probably in August, which we've done in the past, because we won't get that data until the end of July. And then if we have to do a budget amendment, we'll come back and do that based on what we see at the Texas legislature. As part of the budget development process, and I've done this for a few times as well, again, when you develop the budget, you don't really know anything about what the final numbers are going to be in your budget. Because property values, we don't know what those are going to be until July. Student ADA is based on the whole school year, which we hadn't even started the school year yet. And we won't get the comptroller's property values until January of next year as to what they want to factor into the budget formula. Again, so we're still waiting for a lot of information. And we also, part of it, due to the Property Tax Reform Transparency Act of 2019, we can't adopt the budget, or the board can't adopt a budget in June. It has to wait until after the end of July. And again, we don't know what that is. I'm guesstimating that we're going to have a maintenance and operation tax rate reduction. But again, there's nothing that's really been identified yet for that. Typically, on an annual basis, if your property values are greater than 2.5%, then it's reduced. The current projected rate is, or percentage increase statewide is 5.5%. That number's been presented, but nobody's talked about a reduction or compression of the tax rates yet. So I don't know if they're going to try to roll it all into one and present that to us. But I'm estimating our tax rate for the maintenance and operation to be 70.79 cents for next year. We'll see. Hopefully won't go down, but we'll see. And again, this is a chart that I provide every year too, just talking about the different steps. Again, what's in red is the actual budget year. We're before that, and we don't know, again, a lot of the stuff regarding the average daily attendance. And then same thing with the property values. We have to adopt a budget in June, but we won't get an estimated comptroller number until January of next year, and that's not finalized until August of next year. Then this is showing what the tax rates have been over the last 6 years. We've gone down 39.5% from where it was, and so it's projected again. Right now, the projection is 70.79 cents. Again, what I'm going to present here in a minute is, because of the legislative session, it's recommended that we don't make a lot of guesstimates as far as salary increases or basic allotment increases. So we're just doing a very basic budget at this point. And hopefully within tomorrow, their meeting, hopefully we'll know more of the outcome of the Senate getting together tomorrow to talk about that. But what I had to do is I increased the basic allotment a little bit, and it looks like they have approved a school safety allotment on both houses, so I factored that number in too. Again, talk about the revenue projections and expenditure projections. Have a slight increase in the ADA number, because our ADA numbers are a little bit down this year because our percentage of the students attending is not where we projected them to be. Projected them to be at 95%. It's roughly at 94%. So I'm just being a little cautious and not increasing it drastically yet. But we'll see over the next week what the final numbers are for this year, and that may change. And again, our pre-K are not included in that, but there is some legislation that's talking about wanting to include the pre-K students, so that should help as well. And we only get half of a FTE for the kindergarten students. Even though they're there a full day, we only count them as 0.5. And all the other special allotments, I've projected a 3% increase because our current numbers pretty much close to what we projected them to be. So it's gone up around 3% a year. So hopefully that'll be okay as we move forward. I did increase the basic allotment by $125. And the main reason for that is because if we weren't opening the new middle school this year, we wouldn't have a big issue. But because we're opening the new middle school, we're needing additional staff. There's going to be additional cost to do that. So I increased right now the basic allotment by $125 to cover all of those costs. Also increased the safety allotment, as I said a minute ago, to $14 per student, $37,000 per campus. That's what was approved by both the Senate and the House. So I think that's going to be final. Again, I'm projecting based on what we got in at the end of April for the tax rate, or excuse me, the property assessment, a 6.15% increase. Again, the only downside of that is there's also the talk of increasing the homestead exemption. That will reduce that, but we don't know what that number is going to look like at this moment. Again, the tax rate using 70.79, which is a 1.95% reduction as a result of the 5.5 statewide increase. And then one of the proposals was to decrease it by 3.31 cents. That was the lesser of the two, so I'm using that number right now. The comptroller's property value is a 7% increase when I'm projecting that right now. Homestead exemption, I'm just using the 100,000 homestead exemption because we don't know how it's going to work out with the $140,000 increase, which is what they're projecting to go from 100,000 to 140,000. We are also eligible for the fast growth district as additional funding. It's roughly $325,000 because our growth in students has drawn up over the last 6 years. Projected decrease in Medicaid. If y'all have any knowledge of what's going on in the SHARS and Medicaid arena, they did an audit based on 2011 data, but they didn't do the audit until 2017, and they determined that the state of Texas was billing things incorrectly, or were funding school districts incorrectly based on the numbers submitted. So starting last year, they started reducing that and making us pay back some of that. We didn't have to pay back hardly anything, but our allocation that we were getting is about half of what we were getting. What we're projected to get now is about half of what we were getting. So you'll see in a few minutes that we're reducing that. As far as salary increases, again, we're going to try not to do anything at the moment until we know what the state's going to do. The only exception is if you're a teacher and you're on the step increase schedule, there's a contract that we do the step increases for you. We've also added a few positions required for program expansion. Again, added the Shaw Middle School salary or staffing for that. And again, keep maintaining most of the attendance incentives, which have been very profitable to us to have staff stay working because they get that additional incentive for that. Other things, again, with opening the new middle school, there's going to be additional property liability insurance because of that school, additional utilities. So those numbers are factored in there as well. And we have to have technology and furniture for any additional staff members that are added to the district. So here's a breakdown. Right now, projecting about 3.175 million increase in revenue, and we have balanced that to where we have a expenditure increase of 3.175 as well. Majority of that is staffing and salary increases. And again, like 1.8 million of that is due to the new Shaw Middle School. Again, the 650,000 is for the property. We don't know what the property insurance is going to be yet, so hopefully that number will go down and free up some of the funds. But estimating what that is, that utility is about 650,000 for the new middle school. And then we're also eligible, we can do program improvements of 382,000. That's there as well. So right now, if I had to submit a budget to the board today, it would be balanced. But again, we have a couple weeks before we have to get that ready for the board. And so that may change depending on what the state may do. Again, this is showing what the campuses get. Again, last year, to have a balanced budget, we reduced all the funding for the campuses as well as the departments by 10%. My goal would be to try to get that back to them this year. But at this moment, we haven't been able to do that because we don't know what the state's going to do. Then some of the legislative changes. Again, there's multiple different, you have the House version, then you have the Senate version. They don't really always align. And one of them has basic allotments going up by $220. The other one had it going up by $395. And they're going to talk tomorrow to see how that turns out. Hopefully they'll add some language that'll go up year over year based on inflation, which it hasn't. And I have a slide here in a minute to show you what it's been over the last several years. And they also have recommending changing that 40% of that increase has to go to salaries. And so we have to wait and see what that number. They're also wanting to increase certain allotments, special allotments, bilingual, compensation, ed, SPED, early education. Then they're talking about adding a separate one for fine arts. But we don't know anything about that at this moment. So we have to wait to see what happens at the legislature. But part of the language says that TEA will determine which courses, fine arts courses, would be eligible. We have to wait for them to determine what that eligibility will be too. So no telling how long that's going to take to get all those things resolved. So here's a chart showing the basic allotment. And as you see, over the last 6 years, it's been 6,160. It hasn't changed over the last 6 years. And if you see the publicity out there, it would have gone up $1,340 over the between 2019 and now if they followed the CPI rate. And so hopefully they'll do something like that to add that into it. Some of the things, increase of teacher salaries. There's various components out there. One says that you may give $2,500 per teacher, another $5,500 based on years of service. Again, it may be additional funding. There's talk about adding money, but the problem with that is if they give you money 1 year or 2 years, can they sustain it? And if they can't do that, then the districts would be responsible for providing those additional salary down the road. And then talking about the school safety allotment, there was discussion of $14, $20, $28. I think, as I said a minute ago, they settled on $14 per student, and then $37,000, which is a $22,000 increase per campus for the campus allocations. Then property tax relief, they're talking about increasing the homestead exemption from 100 to 140,000. Those over the age 65 may get up to 200,000 exemption. That's being discussed as well. And again, it started out as being, before 2019, it was 40,000, then it went up to 100,000 in 2023. Then there's talking about tax rate compression. We don't know what that's going to end up being yet either. Again, I factored in the 1.95 based on the average increase, and I used the 3.31. But again, there's another bill. The Senate bill has 6.8. We don't know what it's going to be. Some other changes. They're talking about increasing the special education transportation allotment put it at 1.13. It's currently at a dollar. Increase in teacher incentive allotments and add a fourth designation. Increase the CCMR outcomes bonus funding. Again, the session ends June 2nd, which is a couple weeks away, and we have to publish the notice by June 4th. So it's going to be interesting. More than likely, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but as we saw a few years ago, they did special sessions after the session, after the June 2nd session expired. Hopefully they don't do that, but that's why we're looking at a basic budget now and come back hopefully after we know what the final numbers are to do an official budget amendment for that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is, and we're required to do this every year too, because it's part of the first rating, is just do a comparison of what the local property values are and then the state certified property values are. The local certified property values are provided by the county appraisal district, whereas and that's what we use to project what our tax collections are going to be. The state comes back and says, well, as part of the funding formula, they want to provide their own value. Again, there's about 285 counties in the state. So part of it is they want to make sure that every county is kind of following the same guidelines, so you don't have some counties that are drastically increasing their property values, other ones that aren't. And they should be consistent depending on their location. So that's why they use the state certified property values, but they only conduct their study every 2 years and not annually like the CAD does, the county assessor. Under normal circumstances, if your CAD property values or even the comptroller's property values go up, then the state funding should go down, and that's that chart I showed in the past. But there are variables that can change that, and I have a slide that shows that in a minute. That if your enrollment is increasing or decreasing, that could change, that could impact it. Tax rate could impact it. Homestead exemption could impact it as well. So here's sort of the basic model too, is if you have two districts, they both have 1,000 students. One of them has higher property value, so they can get $5 million from taxes. So the state only gives them 1.1. The other district only gets $2.5 million from taxes, so they get more money from the state. Again, that goes back to the cup component where each district has the same size cup. One of them has more local or tax dollars, so they get less state funding. The other one has less tax dollars, so they get more state funding. So now the problem is the state uses the higher assessed value between the CAD value and the property value study. So you use the CAD value for your tax collections, and that's what you build your formula around. The state says, we're going to use the comptroller's number for that, and if it's not, may not always be the same or close to the CAD. And again, if the CAD number is a little different, you can't go back and say, I need to collect more tax dollars. You have to use what the county assessment was. And so the problem with that is the state will fill up the cup with the state funds from the level that the state feels the local value should be. So if you thought you were going to get more tax dollars, but the state says no, based on the comptroller's numbers, you're going to get less state dollars, then what's white on that document there, or the cup, you're not going to get those funds. So school districts lose some of the revenue if the CAD numbers are higher than the tax numbers from the local CAD. So and here's a chart that I've provided in the past. Again, the difficulty is things change over the years. But if you look at 21, 22, and 22, 23, the property values did go up. The tax collections did go up. And if you look at the very last column, the state funding did go down. But then if you look at the next year, it went, the local value or the state funding went up drastically. And the main reason for that, if you look at the second from the top for 23, 24, the tax rates went down. That's when they implemented that over 18-cent tax rate. So that took the values down, the CAD values down, and therefore you got more state funding. So it's, again, it's not as easy as just factoring year over year. But again, the purpose of this is to show if properties values go up, state funding should go down if all things are variable or the same factor. So the next steps, we'll continue monitoring. We only have a week or so left of the school district to see how the final numbers for the district are. See what the legislature is going to do. Then we'll make the final adjustments to the budget and provide an update for the special hearing, or the public hearing, and then hold the public hearing for the proposed budget and tax rates, have the board approve the budget in June, and then come back in August and have the property value certified, or the tax rate certified. And again, depending on what we see, come back and ask the board to adopt a different budget. Or basically a budget amendment, hopefully showing more revenue, so then we can have more expense for salary adjustments and things like that. And so that's it. I don't know if y'all have any questions? So.
Thanks, Bill. Okay, thank you, Dr. Johnston.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, sir.
And I just have a couple of things, and then I will turn it back over to you. Just wanted to recognize Red Oak ISD has been honored as one of the best communities for music education by the National Association of Music Merchants, marking the 10th time that Red Oak ISD has received this prestigious recognition, so we're very proud of that. Next mobile food pantry will be on Thursday, May 15th at 4 p.m. at ESC. Coffee Talk will be on Wednesday, June 4th at 7:45 a.m. The next regular board meeting is scheduled for Monday, June 16th at 7 p.m. And then our Red Oak High School graduation is going to be held on Thursday, May the 29th at the Mansfield ISD Performing Arts Center at 4 p.m. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sanford.
Thank you.
Miss Debbie, did we have anybody? Okay, we had no one sign up for open forum, so we will move into our consent agenda. Are there any items that anybody wants pulled to consider separately in the consent agenda? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
That's a motion by Mr. Knight and a second by Mr. Kelly. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Next, we will consider method of procurement for 2025 bond projects. We will hear from Dr. Johnston again.
Again, with the passing of the bond, it's time to start the projects. And we want to get started because something I didn't talk about a minute ago is there is a bill out there that's being discussed as with the hold harmless going up. If your hold harmless is going up means the tax values are going down. So for the funding formula, they give what they call hold harmless funding to make up the difference. And mainly it's for the maintenance and operation tax value stuff. There is a component for the INS, the debt service, but right now they haven't. What they did in 2023 when it went up from 40 to 100, they said if you issue bonds by the end of August, then you get that hold harmless. Right now the language doesn't really show that. They say January 1, 2025. So hopefully when that's presented here in the next week, they'll adjust that. So we're preparing to maybe potentially issue bonds in August if they change that date to August 31st to issue the bonds to get some of that additional state funding for your debt service fund. And so what we need, first one of the steps is we've been working with Corrigan is to go through the process of identifying and selecting a construction manager at risk. So that's what this document does. It does two things. Again, asking the board to approve us using the construction manager at risk process, which is a two-step process where we identify through request for qualifications, then come back and do an interview with those that we want to interview. And then there's also attached to this the evaluation process, how each of those components are verified, and then provide the superintendent the authority to establish the process, negotiate whatever final contract we come up with for that purpose. So that's what this recommendation is for.
Any questions? Not, do we here have a motion? Anyone?
And again, this is mainly just for the major projects. There's some of the minor projects, such as the playgrounds. We're going to do those internally. So it's just the 5 major projects that were part of the 3 bond propositions.
It's 10.
Could you give us just a second?
Sure.
Yeah, give us a second.
Yep.
And just for clarification, we went through the same process for the new middle school when we selected Joris to be the construction manager at risk.
There it is.
So it's the same process that we plan to use for these 5 projects as well.
Laid out different from yours.
Okay, just read that. I move.
I'm gonna get a little closer to this. Here.
Are you going to do it, John? Because if not, I got it.
Okay, I move to adopt the resolution declared, the construction manager at risk, 2-step process as a construction delivery method and other required actions for the following 5 projects as presented. New career in technology CTE building with cafeteria, the new elementary school on Harmony Way, the Red Oak High School practice gym addition, the sub-varsity athletic venue, the Goodloe Stadium renovation.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that is a motion by Johnny Knight and a second by Donna Knight. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you, sir.
Motion passes 6-0. Okay, next is information items you all had in your packets. Do you have any questions on those for Ms. Sanford? Okay, hearing none, the time is 7:43, and we will adjourn into closed session pursuant to multiple Texas government codes as listed on the agenda.
Thank y'all.